Top 25 Penetration Tester Interview Questions and Answers. If you're preparing for a penetration tester interview or planning to start your cybersecurity career, this video is for you. Today, we'll go through the top 25 most commonly asked penetration tester interview questions, along with powerful, easy-to-understand answers that help you sound confident and professional. Whether you're a beginner or experienced pro, these answers will help you stand out and impress any recruiter. So, let's jump straight into question number 1. 1. What is penetration testing? Penetration testing, or pen testing, is a simulated cyber attack conducted to evaluate the security of an IT system, network, or application. The main goal is to identify vulnerabilities before real attackers exploit them. Pen testers act like ethical hackers, using similar tools and techniques as malicious hackers, but legally and with permission. The findings are then reported to the organization, helping them strengthen defenses. In short, penetration testing turns hacking skills into protection by identifying weaknesses before attackers can. 2. Why is penetration testing important? Penetration testing is crucial because it helps organizations proactively discover and fix vulnerabilities. Instead of waiting for an actual breach, companies hire ethical hackers to simulate attacks and expose risks early. This improves system resilience, ensures compliance with standards like PCI DSS or ISO 27001, and safeguards sensitive data. It also boosts customer confidence, as clients trust businesses that take cybersecurity seriously. Essentially, pen testing transforms potential threats into opportunities for stronger, safer systems. 3. What are the types of penetration testing? The main types include black box, white box, and gray box testing. In black box testing, testers have no prior knowledge of the system, simulating an external attack. White box testing provides full system information, like source code and architecture, helping find deeper vulnerabilities. Gray box testing offers partial knowledge, balancing realism with insight. Additionally, there are specialized tests like web application, network, wireless, and social engineering tests. Each serves a different purpose in identifying and securing attack surfaces. 4. What's the difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing? A vulnerability assessment scans and identifies potential weaknesses but doesn't exploit them. It's more of a risk checklist. A penetration test, however, goes a step further. It actively exploits vulnerabilities to understand their real-world impact. Think of it like the difference between finding a door unlocked, vulnerability scan, and actually trying to open it to see what's inside, pen test. Pen testing gives deeper insights into business risks and helps prioritize fixes based on actual exploitability. 5. What tools do you use for penetration testing? Common penetration testing tools include Nmap for network discovery and port scanning, Metasploit for exploitation and payload delivery, Burp Suite for web application testing, Wireshark for packet analysis, John the Ripper for password cracking, Nessus for vulnerability scanning. Each tool serves a unique role. Some identify open ports, others test web apps, or exploit vulnerabilities. A skilled pen tester knows when and how to combine them effectively to simulate realistic attacks and gather actionable insights. 6. What are the stages of a penetration test? A typical penetration test follows these phases. 1. Planning and reconnaissance. Define scope, permissions, and objectives. 2. Scanning. Identify live hosts, open ports, and services. 3. Exploitation. Attempt to exploit discovered vulnerabilities. 4. Post-exploitation. Assess the depth of access and potential data impact. 5. Reporting. Document findings, risk ratings, and recommendations. This structured approach ensures the test remains legal, controlled, and produces valuable insights that guide remediation efforts effectively. 7. What is reconnaissance in penetration testing? Reconnaissance, or recon, is the information-gathering phase of penetration testing. The goal is to collect as much data as possible about the target, like IP ranges, domains, system details, or employee info. There are two types: passive recon, collecting public data, e.g., Google, WHOIS. Recon sets the foundation for all later steps. It's like preparing a map before exploring an unknown territory. 8. What is the difference between active and passive reconnaissance? Active reconnaissance directly interacts with the target, such as scanning ports or sending requests. It provides detailed insights but risks detection. Passive reconnaissance, on the other hand, gathers information without touching the target, using public sources like search engines, LinkedIn, or DNS records. It's stealthier but less detailed. In real-world testing, pen testers often start with passive methods, then move to active recon when it's safe and authorized, ensuring maximum information with minimal detection. 9. What is social engineering in penetration testing? Social engineering tests the human element of security. Instead of hacking systems, it manipulates people into revealing confidential information or granting access. Examples include phishing emails, tailgating, or impersonation. Pen testers use these techniques ethically to assess an organization's awareness and security culture. The results help train employees to recognize and resist manipulation. In short, social engineering proves that sometimes the weakest link in cybersecurity isn't technology, it's human trust. 10. How do you handle scope and permission in penetration testing? Before any test begins, written authorization and scope definition are critical. The scope outlines what systems, IPs, or networks can be tested, and what's off-limits. This ensures legality, protects both the tester and client, and avoids accidental damage. Pen testers also agree on testing windows and escalation contacts. Without a defined scope and permission, even ethical hacking becomes illegal. Documentation and consent form the ethical backbone of every professional penetration test. 11. What is exploitation in penetration testing? Exploitation is the phase where the tester uses identified vulnerabilities to gain unauthorized access or control. The goal isn't to cause harm but to prove the impact of the vulnerability. For example, exploiting weak passwords, misconfigured servers, or unpatched software. Tools like Metasploit help simulate these attacks safely. The exploitation phase demonstrates how real attackers could compromise systems, providing valuable proof that motivates timely security improvements. 12. What is privilege escalation? Privilege escalation is the process of gaining higher access rights within a system after initial entry. For example, moving from a regular user account to an administrator or root level. It's often done by exploiting misconfigurations, outdated software, or weak permissions. Successful privilege escalation allows testers to access more sensitive data and demonstrate the full impact of a breach. It's a key indicator of how deeply an attacker could infiltrate the system if unpatched. 13. What's the difference between internal and external penetration testing? External penetration testing simulates an attack from outside the organization, targeting public-facing systems like websites, firewalls, or mail servers. Internal testing assumes an attacker already has internal access, like a disgruntled employee or breached workstation, and checks how much damage they can cause. Both are essential. External testing protects perimeter defenses, while internal testing reveals weaknesses in internal networks, configurations, and employee access controls. 14. What is OWASP, and why is it important? OWASP, Open Web Application Security Project, is a global community that provides free tools, documentation, and guidelines for improving web application security. Its most famous resource is the OWASP Top 10, a list of the most critical web vulnerabilities, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, XSS, and insecure deserialization. Pen testers use these standards to evaluate applications systematically. OWASP promotes industry best practices and ensures consistent, high-quality security assessments worldwide. 15. What is SQL injection, and how do you prevent it? SQL injection is a web vulnerability that allows attackers to manipulate SQL queries by injecting malicious code through input fields. It can lead to unauthorized data access, modification, or deletion. To prevent it, developers should use parameterized queries, input validation, and stored procedures instead of concatenating raw user input. Regular code reviews, database permissions, and web firewalls also help. In essence, SQL injection proves why secure coding and testing collaboration are critical. 16. What is cross-site scripting, XSS? Cross-site scripting, XSS, occurs when attackers inject malicious scripts into trusted websites, which then execute in the victim's browser. This can steal cookies, session tokens, or sensitive information. There are three types: stored, reflected, and DOM-based XSS. Prevention methods include input sanitization, output encoding, and using security headers like content security policy. XSS demonstrates how even small web input fields can become gateways for large security breaches. 17. What is privilege escalation testing? Privilege escalation testing assesses whether a user or attacker can gain unauthorized higher privileges within a system. The test identifies weak configurations, unpatched systems, or poor access controls. Pen testers attempt both vertical escalation, gaining admin rights, and horizontal escalation, accessing another user's data. This testing helps organizations understand how far a breach could spread internally, ensuring that access levels follow the principle of least privilege. Users only get what they truly need. 18. What is lateral movement in a network? Lateral movement refers to how attackers spread across systems after initial compromise. Instead of immediately attacking valuable assets, they quietly explore the network, identifying shared drives, credentials, or servers to exploit further. Pen testers simulate this behavior to test detection and response systems. By observing how easily they can move between machines, they reveal weaknesses in segmentation, monitoring, and access control policies. Detecting lateral movement early is key to preventing full-scale breaches. 19. What is post-exploitation in penetration testing? Post-exploitation focuses on what happens after gaining access. The tester explores how much control they can achieve, like extracting sensitive data, maintaining persistence, or escalating privileges. It's not about destruction, it's about demonstrating impact. Testers use this phase to understand how an attacker could leverage compromised access for long-term damage. The insights help organizations improve their detection systems and incident response procedures for real-world attacks. 20. What is pivoting in penetration testing? Pivoting is a technique where testers use a compromised system as a launch point to access other network segments. It's like entering one unlocked room and then opening doors to others. This method helps simulate real attackers who move from one host to another. Pivoting tests internal network defenses, segmentation policies, and monitoring capabilities. If pivoting succeeds, it often indicates that internal systems trust each other too much, highlighting the need for better isolation. 21. What is Metasploit, and how is it used? Metasploit is one of the most popular frameworks for developing and executing exploits. It allows testers to identify vulnerabilities, launch attacks, and manage payloads. Pen testers use it to simulate real-world attacks safely, such as exploiting weak services or testing patch effectiveness. It also includes post-exploitation modules for privilege escalation and pivoting. In short, Metasploit is like a Swiss Army knife for ethical hackers, powerful, flexible, and essential in modern penetration testing. 22. What is the difference between black box and white box testing? In black box testing, the tester has no prior knowledge of the system, just like an external hacker. It's realistic but time-consuming. White box testing, on the other hand, gives full visibility, source code, architecture, and network details. It's faster and deeper but less realistic. Many companies prefer gray box testing, which combines both approaches, partial knowledge for efficiency, but still simulating realistic threats. The choice depends on goals, timelines, and compliance needs. 23. What is a zero-day vulnerability? A zero-day vulnerability is a flaw unknown to the vendor or the public, meaning no patch exists yet. Attackers exploit it before it's discovered or fixed, making it extremely dangerous. Pen testers rarely use real zero days but must understand them conceptually. Their goal is to identify potential zero-day-like weaknesses or simulate exploitation safely. Organizations can mitigate risks by maintaining strong patch management, monitoring anomalies, and implementing multi-layered defense strategies. 24. What is reporting in penetration testing? Reporting is the final and one of the most important stages of a penetration test. It summarizes vulnerabilities, exploitation steps, risk levels, and remediation recommendations. A good report should be clear, concise, and actionable, balancing technical depth with executive summaries. It should also include evidence like screenshots or logs to support findings. In essence, the report transforms raw hacking data into business insight, helping decision-makers understand risks and prioritize security improvements effectively. 25. What skills make a great penetration tester? A great penetration tester combines technical expertise, creativity, and ethical discipline. They must understand networks, operating systems, web applications, and programming languages. Equally important are soft skills, problem-solving, patience, communication, and continuous learning. Technology evolves fast, so staying updated with new exploits and defenses is vital. Most of all, a great pen tester thinks like an attacker but acts with integrity. Their mission isn't to break, it's to protect by revealing what others can't see. And there you have it, the top 25 penetration tester interview questions and answers to help you ace your next cybersecurity interview. Remember, the best pen testers never stop learning. Keep practicing, stay curious, and build your hands-on skills with real-world labs and certifications. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cybersecurity content every week. Thanks for watching and good luck with your interview journey.